James Webb just detected a signal that changes everything. A signal that shouldn't exist. A signal that doesn't match any star, galaxy, pulsar, black hole, or known cosmic phenomenon. A signal that arrived from a region of space where there shouldn't be anything at all. And what is even more impossible is that the pattern inside the signal looks like something created intentionally. At first, no one believed it. It was dismissed as noise, a glitch, a cosmic coincidence. But when the team processed the data, cleaned the distortions, and compared the wave structure to every known astrophysical signature, the truth became undeniable. This wasn't noise. This wasn't random. This was organized, and it was organized in a way that suggested intelligence far beyond anything humanity has ever imagined. Scientists expected Webb to show us distant galaxies, early stars, remnants of the Big Bang. No one expected it to deliver a message. And yet, for the first time in history, the universe may be speaking back. It began with a detection from the telescope's deep field sweep, a region chosen specifically because it was supposed to be empty, a cosmic void where nothing, no light, no matter, no galaxies, should appear. Webb scanned it anyway, partly as a calibration test, partly to explore the most silent corners of the cosmos. In that silence, something answered. The signal appeared as a faint vibration in the data, almost lost in the cosmic background. But the timing was too precise, the frequency too controlled, the structure too deliberate. It repeated. Then it changed. Then it repeated again, but in a slightly evolved pattern, as if waiting for us to notice. Within hours, research teams from NASA, ESA, and multiple universities were pulled into private calls. Data was locked behind restricted access. Every model that could explain random signals failed. Atmospheric contamination? Impossible. The signal originated far outside the Milky Way. Instrument malfunction? Tested and eliminated. Gravitational lensing interference? The shape and rhythm didn't fit. That left only one explanation, one that most scientists were too afraid to say out loud. Something out there was generating a pattern that obeyed no natural structure we've ever observed. As the signal was processed through AI-enhanced reconstruction, something startling emerged. The wave didn't just pulse. It spiraled. It carried layers, like a chord instead of a single note. And embedded inside those layers was a repeating numerical structure that mirrored prime numbers, but not human primes. Primes of a different base. A mathematical system that didn't originate from Earth. And as soon as researchers recognized that structure, the signal changed again, almost as if it reacted to our decoding. It shifted into a new sequence, one with signs of acceleration and deliberate modulation. It was no longer just a pattern. It was a response. The more scientists analyzed it, the more unsettling it became. The signal didn't come from a galaxy, a star cluster, or even the intergalactic medium. It came from beyond the cosmic horizon, from a region of space-time that should be unreachable. Light from that distance shouldn't have had time to reach Earth, even across 13.8 billion years. That means either the universe is older than we think, or the signal didn't travel through normal space. It may have bypassed space-time altogether. That possibility alone rewrites physics. It means the sender might understand the universe on a level we can even begin to comprehend. As days passed, something else emerged, something even more disturbing. When scientists plotted the signal's structure in three-dimensional form, the pattern resembled the mathematical signature of a living system. Not biological life, not cells or organisms, but self-modifying information, something that behaves like it's alive. It adaptively responds. It grows. It reorganizes. It stabilizes itself against entropy. The universe is full of chaos, but this pattern wasn't chaotic. It had purpose, and purpose implies intention. The implications sent shockwaves through the scientific world. If the signal is artificial, then whoever, or whatever created it, has mastered inter-universal communication. If it is natural, then the universe itself may be producing lifelike structures at scales far beyond biology. Either answer changes our place in the cosmos forever. teams ran every test imaginable to rule out human interpretation bias. The result was always the same. The signal is structured. The signal evolves. And the signal seems aware of its own transmission. As the next layer of decoding progressed, something unexpected happened. The signal began producing intervals that matched cosmic constants. The speed of light, the gravitational constant, the Planck length, the curvature of spacetime. But the constants weren't presented in our notation. They were presented through ratios that could only be understood from a perspective outside our physical laws. It was like someone showing us the blueprint of the universe, but written in a language older than reality itself. A language we're only just beginning to comprehend. A breakthrough occurred when a mathematician noticed that the intervals between the pulses matched distortions predicted by hypothetical physics models involving extra dimensions. If that's true, then the signal might not be coming from a point in space at all, but from a higher dimensional structure touching our universe at a single location. In other words, this might be the first evidence that our universe is one layer of a much larger system, one membrane in a cosmic stack, and something on another layer may have reached through. By now, the scientific community was split. Some argued that the signal was an echo of a cosmic catastrophe, something like the death cry of a collapsing dimension. Others believed it was a form of communication, maybe not even directed at us, but intercepted accidentally when our technology finally became sensitive enough. But a growing minority believed something else, something more profound. They believed the signal was not just information. They believed it was an invitation. When Webb performed a second sweep of the region, the signal amplified by nearly 12%, as if acknowledging the observation. That should be impossible. No natural phenomenon amplifies itself in response to being watched. The only time we've ever seen anything even remotely similar is in experiments involving quantum systems, where the act of observation influences the outcome. But this wasn't quantum. This was cosmic. Something was watching us watch it. The longer the observation continued, the more complex the signal became. Hidden layers, encoded in structures smaller than Planck scales, appeared and then dissolved, replaced by new configurations. It was like watching something think. And with every analysis, one chilling realization became harder to ignore. The signal behaves like a mind, not a human mind, not a biological mind, but a cosmic one, ancient and vast, operating on scales and times far beyond the limits of human comprehension. What lies behind that signal? A civilization? A living universe? A hyperdimensional system older than our cosmos? Or something entirely beyond the language we possess? The truth is that no one knows yet. But one thing is certain. The signal didn't come from us. It didn't come from nature as we understand it. And it didn't happen by accident. Whatever generated it wanted it to be found. Maybe it has been waiting billions of years for someone, anyone, to finally detect it. And now that we have, the question is no longer whether we are alone. The question is what happens next, now that the universe has finally answered back.